Hello.
Well, this has been a long time coming.
Yeah, for sure.
We've kind of been like heads down, pencils to paper, getting this whole thing launched. And it's been
Now we're coming up right on it.
a journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so here we are.
Yeah.
And we're about to launch Bomboom, which is something we've been working on for
like almost 8 years.
time. Yeah, it's been a long time.
So we started, basically Bomboom's a clothing line for people who live active lives, running, cycling, obviously triathlon, cycling, swimming, running, but also people who just move daily, walking. So it's activewear, but with a sport focus, specifically triathlon. And we basically, when I got into triathlon, 8 years ago or so.
Yep, I'm in Canada.
Yep, we were trying to buy gear, like brand new triathletes. I walked into a Zoot store and I was like, what do I buy? Is there stuff that looks good and performs well? And we had a really hard time kind of finding that sweet spot of like stuff we want to wear and stuff that like looks good, performs well. So we're like, gosh, look at all of this stuff that we have available and I think we can do better. So that was just kind of like that seed was planted, kind of organic thought. And then
you just always made your own kits for each of your races.
Yeah.
You did a custom kit, one off, and...
Well, and I have a background as like in marketing and design. That's what, that's been my career. So I always had this concept for what I wanted to wear and ended up just making my own stuff every year. And then, I don't know, about 5 years ago, we were like, gosh, we can really do this. Like we could do this maybe better than like some of the manufacturers that we saw out there trying to make stuff for the industry. And so we started looking for a manufacturing partner, which was, a journey in and of itself, vetting manufacturers, making sure that, the manufacturers that we found could fit our business model, came up with a business plan. And then, about a year ago, we started manufacturing. So that was like, we created templates and designs and brand concepts and everything from that 5-year point of ideation to this last year. And then we pulled the trigger and like putting our money where our mouth was and trying to create pieces that we really wanted to wear.
So for the last year, we've been creating designs, manufacturing concepts, getting sample product. Mm-hmm. And that's a few month process. Probably takes maybe 2 to 3 months from concept to we have a sample in hand.
Per piece.
We've gone through a handful of rounds and we're getting ready to launch our first product line in January.
Yeah.
It's pretty exciting.
Which is, long time coming, but also, you kind of start in on this product and you're like, on this project and you're like, I could do that. And then you realize everything that goes into it and everything from like, we had to choose material types. Like, do you want wind tunnel tested fabric for everything? Well, you don't need that for running gear, but you want something to be comfortable and compressive and hold all of your body parts in. And like, so there's all of these decisions that had to be made there. And then like, do you have grippers? Do you have zippers? Do those zippers irritate? Does the pattern accommodate for that? So there's all of these decisions that had to be made. And we're both perfectionists when it comes to the products that we're trying to create. And so if there is, as we ran into hiccups, we would have to go back to the refinement process and really create things that we thought would be, would not only look good, but be really functional for our industry. And so here we are, we're about a month and a half away from like really launching, 30 products or something like that.
Yeah, a few more.
Yeah, so we've got one more round of production, but we kind of, before we make all of those final refinements, we wanted to kind of open up that feedback process to some of my followers and some of our direct community. So...
You want to talk about Monday?
Yeah.
All right.
So we're kind of pulling the trigger like slightly preemptively before our launch date, but we want to offer basically all of our products to my followers at a huge discount, like basically 40% off plus. Yeah. Just to get people into our gear, testing our gear and giving us feedback on what you like about it, don't like about it, what you would change. We've already gotten a handful of people giving us feedback about pieces that have really like changed our perspective on how those pieces are performing. And we've made those changes and the products are better because of it. And so we're opening up our store for Cyber Monday sample sale orders. So for a week, we'll have all of our products marked off by 40+%. And we're hoping that all of our followers who've kind of been following along on this journey, who want access to some of our kits and some of our clothing line, this will be the opportunity for you to basically get it as cheap as you possibly can, so that you can try it out, give us feedback, and hopefully like use us in the future for different, performance gear needs. So I've raced in my kits and they perform beautifully. So I'm really excited about our kits. I wear our clothing. This is one of our sweatshirts. We've got some unique pieces, like women have a hard time finding shorts that don't like ride up as you run. And so we're creating a few pieces that kind of solve those problems while also like flattering. This is one of our, these are some of our shorts. We have a gripper, like a pretty substantial gripper that's built into these shorts. It's got a pocket for nutrition. It's made out of compressive sport material, and they look good. They're like super duper cute and super bright. Like we want the feel of our clothing line to be energetic and like bring a lot of like life and spunk to the table, because so many clothing pieces today are like tomato red and like vegetable green. And like when I go and race and when I go and even train, I don't want to be in like tomato red. Like I want to go out there and feel like I'm like bringing my A game to the table. And everybody knows when you look good, you feel good, you perform well. And so that's kind of the thought process behind the visual direction that we wanted to take with our stuff. Like we want it to be edgy and fun and a little bit funky. We want it to stand out and for people to have like a lot of fun with the things that they're wearing when they're performing. So
we're excited.
Yeah.
So we have our newest product round is going to be arriving in a couple weeks. Mm-hmm. And probably a few weeks after that, we are going to be launching our first round of product through the website. And it's going to be really exciting.
Yeah. Like here's an example of how we've had some feedback on some of our kits. So we've got this one kit here. And when we first came up with the design, you mind holding that for a second? We had our logo down the side of the leg, which love how it turned out. But when you put it on, because this material is printed on, it can kind of stretch to a slightly different color, because especially for women who have got like a little bit more hip girth. Did I say what am I supposed to say?
I don't know.
Okay. For women who have like bigger hips, you want me to say it that way?
Not sure what the right way is.
Like women have hips, and so when you put this like on their legs, it kind of stretches out. I don't know if you can see that at all. It kind of stretches out, and it's like a little bit less flattering to wear. And so some of the feedback that we got on this product specifically is to swap out a solid material for a printed material so that it stays black, stays slimming, stays compressive. And so we went with a different performance material on the side of that leg to kind of solve that problem. And that was like great feedback. That came from like one of our customers, and we're really glad that like she gave us that feedback. And so she wore this kit in her full Ironman, and now we have this kit modified to fit her desires and specifications. And what we're hoping is that as we develop our line, like if there's something that our customers want to see changed, that we like go directly back to the manufacturing process, especially at this stage in the business, and make those changes.
Want to talk about the gear testing community a little bit?
Sure. So we'd like to open up. So right now our sample sale discount is available to my followers for a very limited amount of time. Like we'll be putting in orders for just throughout this week, and just for people who want to get ahead of that next production round to order some pieces. But then that discount's going to go away at the end of this next week. So we're opening up a program for, we call it gear testers. And what we're looking for is, over the next year, we're going to be releasing, another 30 products. and refining the products that we have going to market. And so we are looking for a team of people who kind of want to buy into that process with us, getting like really top of the line gear, good materials, good accessories to those products, and really who want to really be a part of the process to help us refine these pieces. So like for me, I've had, I want these shorts, but I want them an inch longer. Well, why do you want them an inch longer? Well, most women have a little bit of like extra inner thigh that needs to, where the material needs to not ride up. So we take that into consideration and develop that as we move through production. Well, every single one of our pieces are going to have these opportunities for refinement, and we really want to give to open up that opportunity to people that we can have an open dialogue with about those things. And so we've come up with the opportunity for people to get gear for this entire next year, giving us feedback on our pieces for basically dirt cheap, like as low as we can lower the prices and just to get people into these pieces to get feedback. So if you want access to awesome gear for a really low price, in exchange for open dialogue about how you feel about those pieces, to give us some performance feedback, we'll be opening up that program in the middle of January. So feel free to reach out to me through social media or through our website at bomboomsport.com, and you can become a part of that team and have access to that extreme discount all year round, and just kind of like stock up your wardrobe with some of our new pieces.
We want you to be a gear teacher.
And I guess we haven't really talked about like the kind of pieces that we're developing.
Yeah.
It's, we really like have this holistic view of for the kinds of pieces that we want to create. We want
So everything from race day to every day.
Yeah,
right?
like
and then training.
Triathlon, racing, like the whole thing is a vibe. Like you go to an expo and you've got people, there's like
you have to look good on Expo Day.
The Expo catwalk, right? Like people have their like brands that they're repping and like lifestyle clothing. There's like a way to show up, and we want to be a part of that. We like want to bring options to the table for that, as well as performance options for racing and training. And so we have everything from lifestyle pieces. So like gym shorts, gym leggings, lifestyle leggings and shorts, and performance running shorts, race day shorts with, opportunity to carry nutrition. Here's like 2 of our lifestyle crop tops, and they just are like so hot. Like I want to live in these every day. Maybe not with like a huge pregnancy belly, but but maybe. And then we've got obviously we've got a whole line of kits coming. I think we're going to end up having like 6 to 10 women's kits and probably a similar amount of men's kits. All with different performance attributes. So we've got wind tunnel tested fabrics, and training fabrics. So high-end fabrics down to more durable, performance fabrics that you can wear for everyday training. We've got 2 pieces, 1 pieces, ITU suits, long distance racing suits. So we're really trying to bring like the breadth of capability, breadth of gear offerings to our followers or to our customers. Yep. So, we're going to we'll have swimsuits. I wear a lot of swim bikinis, so we'll start with swim bikinis. We'll have some one pieces for women. We'll have some like swim jammers for men, lifestyle shorts for men, different inseam running shorts for both men and women, leggings for women, and everything is like in the process of, feedback and refinement. And so we're like really excited. We're excited about what we've received, and we like it for our bodies, our body types. But we want feedback from people who, don't have the same body types as us and who want different performance features than we might prioritize. And so we're really looking to open up this like cyclical dialogue between us and our customers so that we can create things that they really enjoy as well. So I think a lot of people launch a business, and like we want that launching period, this like time from now through the next year, to really involve our customers and not just reflect what we like, but like maybe you want more muted clothing, or you want you prefer a specific element of a piece of clothing that you want to be reflected in what we're bringing to the table, and like we want to hear those kinds of things. So
yep. And we can roll out experimental options and styles pretty efficiently. Like we can, tonight I can tell our manufacturer we want to add an inch of an inseam to something, and she'll get it in production, within a couple weeks. And so, and we can do, one-off experimental options. We can really do a lot of cool stuff. I mean, we're a very small, brand new family company. And so we're leaning into that. We're nimble. We can make changes on the fly. We can do small order sizes right now, and we can do, a whole bunch of different things. So it's very exciting. We're not trying to be huge and polished, because that's, maybe that'll come down the road. But right now we can work directly with our customers and our fans, and we can get, we can get a lot of ideas processed pretty quick. So it's very exciting. Yeah.
We have a lot of flexibility, which is really nice. And we're kind of looking forward to kind of casting a wide net and then figuring out what hits, like what people like, what kind of performance features people are looking for. So we really want like this cohesive back and forth, open dialogue, especially as we're refining things over the next few years. So it's a bit of a dream slowly coming true. Like you kind of think about your goals and things that you're working towards, and you think that there's like this line in the sand, and you're like, okay, now I've accomplished this thing, let's go. And this for us has just been like this slow drip of development and intentionality and investment. And so we're at this point where we're almost there. We're like almost ready to launch, but it's going to take you helping, make this everything that it could be, because we don't want to create things that are just for us, as fun as that is.
It is fun. Trust me.
Yeah. When we came up with this concept for launching a clothing line, it really came out of, kind of like three things. One, we wanted to make gear that we really wanted to wear. Like we had a hard time finding stuff that was like fun enough, good enough, performance oriented stuff that had good materials, was comfortable, was durable, had the right price point. So we wanted to make stuff that we wanted to wear. We wanted to create something that would serve our community, the community of, runners and triathletes and really like men and women who do sports. That's always been a big part of our lives. And then the third one is we realize how much sports impact people. It's becoming a part of the triathlon community has changed my life. And I've had a handful of really significant experiences, running into young people and other moms and family members, realizing that if they had a lower barrier to entry into sports like triathlon and running, maybe they would have had an opportunity to better their lives as well. And so, but when you don't have access to resources and access to a platform, it's really hard to make an impact in the world and in your community.
It's an expensive sport.
Yeah.
It can be hard to get into.
Yeah. So,
and that's where Bomboom comes in. It's our nonprofit. And we want to provide resources for people who have a hard time getting into the sport, getting active, and really endurance sports generally, active lifestyle generally. Both of our lives have been hugely impacted by being able to do endurance sports throughout our whole lives. And we want to help create that environment for others and give them resources to be able to afford to get into the sport and afford to have active lifestyles. So we're really excited about Bomboom, the nonprofit side of things as well.
Yeah. So when really Bomboom was we wanted a platform, like we wanted an ability to funnel funds and resources to help people get into sports. But I remember this one instance where it was, I was at the pool and there was she must have been 11. And she comes up to me and she's like this like super gregarious, like talkative, totally like sweet and outgoing, younger girl who like already looked like she was struggling with, health issues, like just carrying on extra weight for her age, and came from a family of like 11 kids. And she started talking to me and she's like, gosh, I wish I could be a swimmer. I was like, you totally can be a swimmer. There's nothing holding you back. Like, just go like swim. And she was like looking at my gear and she's like, can I try on your flippers? Can I use your snorkel? And so we were just like talking about, this enthusiasm that she had to become a swimmer at age 11. And she was like, yeah, I come from, there's a lot of kids in our family, and we don't really have the money to put me on swim team. And I said, like, swim team doesn't really cost any money through this community program. And she's like, well, I can't really get to and from the pool. And there's just like, you could tell she's been given excuses for why she can't do things. And she's like obviously come from a, single parent, low income family. And I was just like, gosh, I don't have the resources right now to help her. This girl that needs help right now at this stage in her life. Like, she has a desire. She's like super passionate, gregarious, cute. And I was like, how do I get her connected to some of my sponsors? How do I get her connected to brands that could give her free gear? So at least she can get a swimsuit, a pair of goggles, the gear that she needs to start down this swimming journey. And I just came up with all of these, like, I need to do these things to be able to help her. And I just started thinking, like, we need a platform. Like, we need to be able to use what we're building for good to help girls like this young girl, help them get into the sport at an early age. And it's not just young women, it's, young men as well. But we all know that as the sport is coming up, the earlier you start in triathlon, the more of an opportunity you have to excel. So that was one facet, but also, being a mom, like, it is so hard to get to race. Like, if you've got young kids, like, who's going to watch your kids? Who's going to pay for that triathlon kit? Like, your kids need clothes, or you get the triathlon kit, or who's going to, where are you going to find a bike? So we've talked about funneling the proceeds from some of our pieces into our nonprofit so that we can start to put feet to helping our community. And then also creating pieces that are like, have a lower barrier to entry for a price purchase point. The price, coming up with a lower price kit, coming up with lower price gear, which will be kind of phase 2 of launching our products, so that we can kind of get our products out there, and then coming up with a more affordable option for our community. And giving ourselves the resources and like the platform to do that. So it's, that part will take a little bit longer to develop. There's a lot more, there's more logistical hoops to jump through to create a nonprofit and to work with other nonprofits. And then also to create gear from a profit standpoint that also goes and funnels into, the altruistic side of things. But we're like very, very motivated to, develop this to build our community, to develop this brand, to have an impact on people's lives and on the sport. So again, we've got like Bomboom, and then we've got Bomboom, which is the nonprofit, and then we've got kind of the coaching side, and that is to kind of help develop the community side of things, and also hopefully donate some of the coaching time to people who are trying to get in the sport, so that we can help people learn how to become triathletes, how to become runners, because we have the resources to do that. So one of the things that we've had kind of the opportunity to do over this last year is reach out to different feature sources, product sources, manufacturing sources, and we've been pulling different elements to complement our performance wear from kind of all over the world. We have materials and chamois from Italy. We've got like some,
a lot of Italian and French fabrics.
Yeah, we've got zipper elements from, top tier manufacturers. And so we want everybody to know that we have been very intentional about sourcing cutting edge materials and features for our kits that are literally just coming out in like the last few months. So we've upgraded like the chamois pads, which Peter's are going to, or the chamois that Peter's going to talk about.
Yeah, this is actually the previous addition to the one that we're now using. And this is a company called Elastic Interface. And it wasn't until about 2015 when they finally invented chamois that could stretch. Mm-hmm. And so these are all seamless 4-way stretch chamois that have a couple layers with different tiers of thickness for support in strategic areas. They're men's and women's specific, so mm-hmm. women's kits are going to have chamois that are designed for women's anatomical features and needs. These are endurance tri chamois, so there's a emphasis on padding in the areas where you're going to be making contact with your saddle when you're in aero for long periods of time. Those aren't necessarily features that are shared across all chamois. And you have chamois that are built for shorter course and longer course. We're emphasizing more longer course chamois in our designs, just because if that'll scale better than a short course chamois. But we have, micro perforations here to distribute heat away from the body. These are bacteriostatics, so they're going to, hold up better, over long term in terms of just the amount that they're absorbing. And they're very flexible and pliable. So these are the top tier chamois made out of Italy. And, this is just one little subset of
element.
The tech that goes into, especially tri-kits. I mean, we've got silicone injected, integrated laser cut cuffs for the sleeves where it's, you get away from the seams and the stitching, which reduces chafing and increases
aerodynamics,
yeah. Reduces drag. So, and they're super comfy, because when you take away the seam here, that seam is an area where, the stitching isn't going to stretch quite as well as the fabric does. And so those are areas where you get a little bit of restriction. So when you can go with a seamless laser cut, silicone integrated cuff, that's extra comfy. I mean, that sleeve is just like a second skin. So there's a lot of tech from one end to the other of the kit, and it's been really fun sourcing those different elements and components and considering what's going to be the best for our customers.
And we also are kind of hybriding the best of the technology for the triathlon world and bringing it into lifestyle and running apparel, which I haven't seen a lot of that crossover happening, partially because the price point's just a little bit higher, but the performance and comfort that you get from some of the materials and features in triathlon where, like, I'm surprised that we haven't seen that saturating the running market or the lifestyle market, and just solving some of the pain points of apparel today with some of the technology that triathletes are now being availed to. So it's one of those things that because we have access to the technology and have access to these like innovative concepts, like we can pull some of those elements into some of our other
especially clothing. A tri-kit short for a two-piece tri-kit. That has a lot of, it's designed to work great on the bike, but also you can go run a marathon. And so there's elements of that pair of shorts that work really well as a running short. You take away the chamois and you keep the gripper, and you've got a running short concept that for the women is really unique and appealing because you minimize that ride and the bunching and everything, and they just kind of lock in where you want them and don't slide around.
Yeah. And we've really paid attention to like length of gripper, how much extra lack of movement do you need? Like how much more grip do you need for different sports and different distances and different comfort points? So we have, a handful of products that we've had in mind for years that we now are seeing come to fruition, which is really exciting. Some of the other pieces that we have coming, we've got, sports bras. We've got some of my favorite shorts to run in are really loose and lightweight splits and like loose and flowy running shorts, which are super flattering on most bodies, as well as really comfortable and breathable. And so we'll have different, we're really paying attention to preference points for everybody, longer inseams, shorter inseams, higher waist, lower waist. And we're trying to figure out the sweet spot of what people want and offering a range of options for those things as well. So especially as we're developing our product lines, there's going to be more options for people to buy their specific fit and feel over the next few years. And then as we hone in what sells well, we'll probably tailor that along with market and demand. But now is the time to give us feedback and
tell us what you
want. Yeah. Like if there's something that you want to see in gear, that's one of the reasons why we started is we want to help our customers. We wanted to help ourselves find something that we want to wear.
You may not have your own endurance sports clothing company, but you have us.
You have ours.
And we want to help you guys get the stuff that you want to wear.
Great. We're done, buddy. Yeah, let's start with the candy.
Pretty slick how you can run that mic.
Yeah. You may choose the candy. You're going to have to wait on your toy until I can grab it, though, okay?